Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and when we give you guys a fresh perspective on things. And how we see them. And today we got a pretty interesting show for you guys. But first of all, we want to wish all of you a Merry Christmas, and hopefully all of you guys are having a happy holidays. For those of you who are maybe having some difficulties this holiday period, we're wishing you the best, and God be with you. But before that, let's get into this show here. So make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Now, it's been a pretty interesting weekend. There've been a lot of games, in the ticker. And yesterday, one of the marquee games for Christmas Day was a game between Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks versus LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers. It was a very, let's put it this way, a very, very entertaining game to watch. Seeing these two players go back and forth. As you guys know, I believe that LeBron is Luka Doncic's favorite player of all time, and then that's the person that he was able to patent his game after. And funny enough, Luka Doncic puts up pretty similar numbers to LeBron James if you look at their career averages, although they have two totally different levels of athleticism. But I think what is very similar about these two guys is, number one, they're two very smart guys, and they're two very strong guys, because I think Luka uses his physical strength to really get the best out of himself and get the best of his opponents. Last night in that game, he scored 32 points. Fantastic for him. 56% shooting from the field, 66.7% from the three, 75% from the free throw line. But that was a very impressive 75%, because he went 12 of 16, so he took a lot of free throw shots. In that game, his plus minus was 24, and he has 9 rebounds, 9 assists. Luka Doncic type of game. Of course, LeBron James had a big game as well. He finished the game shooting 56% from the field. He didn't make any of his threes, but he went 12 of 12 from the free throw line, which is incredible for him. He shot 100% from the free throw line, so he finished the game with 38.6 rebounds, 5 assists, and only 2 turnovers. So LeBron did his thing in that game, but ultimately they won the game. Now, what was one of the major things that was happening in the background, the backstory? Dirk Nowitzki was there, right? And Dirk Nowitzki was there, and the Dallas Mavericks were unveiling the new Dirk Nowitzki statue outside the arena, which he obviously deserves. Right, there's no doubt about it that Dirk Nowitzki deserves it, and Dirk is one of the most impressive basketball players, and especially international players that I've ever seen. Right, but if we're just talking about basketball in general, but we're talking about international. One of the best ever, really revolutionized his position. Very, very crafty, very, very skilled big man. And similarly to Luka Doncic, had this ability to get where he wanted to be, and you really couldn't stop him. He was moving in slow motion, and nevertheless, players just couldn't really deter him from getting whatever the hell he wanted against any type of defense, right? Very, very, very hard cover to cover at 7 feet tall with that high arcing shot, that high release point, basically unblockable. There's nobody in the NBA during his playing day that could actually affect that shot. So Dirk Nowitzki was a bad boy, right? Now, what do we know about Dirk and LeBron? Dirk and LeBron met in the NBA Finals back in 2011, where LeBron had one of his worst playoff performance that he's ever had in his NBA career, and Dirk Nowitzki and these guys were able to come back victorious and win that series, a series in which they were underdogs going into that series, heavy underdogs, although they had a fantastic regular season record. But if you going into those playoffs, you look at the team and the talent. Everyone obviously believed that the Miami Heat were going to pummel them, and that's not what happened. So yesterday they were talking about each other, in this case LeBron and Dirk Nowitzki. And then Dirk, they asked him to talk about LeBron. And he said, in my opinion, one of the most ridiculous things in terms of why he believes that LeBron is ultimately better than Michael Jordan. So what we want to do is we want to play exactly what Dirk had to say here, and then we're going to come back and react to it. So take a listen to what Dirk Nowitzki had to say about why he believes LeBron James is the greatest of all time.
I know the game today is maybe a little bit beside the point, but with one of your old rivals, LeBron James, on the court today, what kind of context does that bring to this day, and what memories does it bring back, and what do you think when you see him kind of still going at this level?
Yeah, I mean, tremendous that he can still play like this in his year 20. The athleticism is incredible. So I'm happy for him. I always say Michael Jordan is the GOAT. If he really surpasses Kareem in the scoring record, I mean, it's I'm sort of running out of arguments for Michael. I mean, what this guy has done has been nothing short of incredible. The longevity, and I always say, being called king at 15 and how he turned out and what he's done for communities where he played and changed so many lives. So he's a very, very special athlete, and I think for now we need to appreciate that watching him and at the level he's playing at.
Is there someone within the league who you think may have a unique shot that you think we should be looking out for?
Well, this Steph comes to mind.
So you heard what Dirk had to say. He believes that LeBron is the greatest because of him ultimately being able to capture that award. I mean, the award for being the #1 leading scorer in NBA history, all-time scorer in NBA history, that currently sits with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and I think he's less than 700 points away from doing that. So here are my thoughts on what he had to say. Number one, I think it's important that I say this because people think I'm some type of LeBron hater. I'm just trying to give you guys my perspective, minus all of the twerking in the background. To me, the most impressive thing about LeBron is this. I think is his dedication to his sport, his commitment to having a legacy. There are not enough players in the NBA, in my personal opinion, that really care about their legacy. A lot of them just really care about making money. LeBron, you can tell, really cares about his legacy. LeBron is not playing for money. I'm sure it's great to make the type of money that he's making, but LeBron James is a very, very rich guy, right? So he's a billionaire, as a matter of fact. So LeBron is committed to his sport. Another thing worth saying is that the commitment to his body, to take care of his body, that level of self-discipline, that's admirable. No matter what you're doing, anybody can learn something from that. So LeBron, I believe, plays basketball for the right reasons. That is the most important thing, I believe, to me about LeBron that stands out the most to me is his commitment to his craft. He's doing it for the right reasons. Obviously, he wants to make money, but he also cares about his last name, which is his legacy. That is to be commended, right? And to me, that stands out the most about LeBron, to me, right? Very few players, very few individuals, athletes in any sport that have that type of dedication and commitment and want to kind of put that level of effort into their career. So to me, that's what stands out about it. And I think that's what makes him very, very unique. This is just my opinion though, right? Just my opinion. However, I totally disagree with Dirk Nowitzki. Totally disagree. Because the vast majority of us that believe that Michael Jordan is the greatest player of all time do not believe that because, do not think that because of his total scoring points. I mean, the total amount of points that he has scored. Jordan, I believe, is number 4 all time and number 3 all time. No one is viewing Jordan based on that. No one. Because if that were the case, then you would say Karl Malone should be ranked higher. Now, I don't want to be dumb about this argument because obviously Dirk is not just limiting the argument to LeBron capturing the all-time scoring record. I don't think that's what he's doing. So I'm not going to do that to Dirk. I think obviously Dirk is taking other things into consideration, which is totally understandable. My point is this. You take that accomplishment that LeBron is about to do. You factor in everything that he's already done. Look at his entire career, the entire sweep of his career. In my opinion, if you take in every single thing that Michael Jordan has done in his career, you compile all of those things, I still believe that Jordan has the more impressive resume. Then, if you just look at them as individual basketball players, I also believe that Jordan is the better basketball player because he's the best two-way player in NBA history, in my personal opinion. I don't think that's up for debate. You may say there have been better defenders. There's never been a better scorer than Jordan. And you combine those two guys, you don't have somebody that makes 9 all-first defensive teams, wins 10 scoring titles, and a defensive player. There's nobody in history that has been able to accomplish that. Nobody. Then you factor in the winning and all of those things. So to me, I think it's a bad argument to make. But nevertheless, it's his opinion. I just totally disagree with it. And I don't think that particular thing is going to make people say, aha, now that LeBron is past Kareem, now all of a sudden he's better than Jordan. I just don't think so. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about what Dirk had to say? What do you think about some of the arguments I had to make? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section. And we catch you guys on the next show. Peace.